Hi, here is Liprandi and this is Overkill, made by Todd Toys back in 1994. He was one of the bad guys from the first wave of Spawn action figures. We have recently reviewed the main character from this toy line and he is a pretty cool toy. Overkill is a big guy, a big action figure. He stands 6 inches tall, and just like it was with the Spawn action figure, you can tell that folks at Todd Toys were not yet expert in making action figures. Usually when you see a guy this size, it's all made out of hollow plastic to cut down on production costs, but Overkill is all made in solid plastic. It's really heavy. It's a cool toy, it feels solid and heavy, and it looks like an improved version of what Toy Biz used to make in the mid-90s. We can see a nice texture all over his body. We can see his face with the teeth and the eye. All these details are nicely painted, and there was also a variant of this character with slightly different colorations. We can move his arms up and down, and we can move the legs forwards and backwards, but we cannot move the head because of the gimmick. Right in the middle of Overkill's back there is a tiny button, and when you push it, he will shoot his head away. And it shoots really far away because look at how big this spring is. And that's because in the comic books Spawn ripped his head off. And we will find blood and guts, but also circuits, because Overkill is a cyborg. He was created right here in Italy by mafia leader Tony Twist to defeat the Spawn, who was already spoiling his dirty business. In fact, Overkill was Tony Twist's second attempt in making a horrible cyborg. The first one was Tremor. With the action figure we will find this cool accessory. It's a parking meter. It's made in solid rubber with nicely painted details. Whoa, nice and heavy. And we can fit it inside of Overkill's hand, so he will use it to smash his enemies. Whoa. Cool. And just like all the other figures from this first wave of Spawn toys, he came with a comic book. And it's not a mini comic, it's a full comic book. Look at this cover, it looks quite cool. Inside there is a little bit of violence, I'll tell you, and here on the back we will find the instructions for our brand new action figure with some pictures of all the other characters and vehicles and even a cool playset from this toy line. There is an interesting story about this character. Officially he appeared for the first time in Spawn comic books in 1992, but this is not true. There was a series of 1-hour documentaries produced in 1991 and hosted by Stan Lee himself, titled Comic Book Greats, where Stan Lee used to interview great comic book stars. In one episode from 1991, he was with Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld. He dared the two artists to come up with a brand new character starting only with a name he suggested, and he suggested Overkill. Well, Rob Liefeld came up with a drawing of the character you can see right here. All these details in the costume were already there. These bubbles, the red eye, and even these 3 blades. Now actually, to be honest, I believe that the whole series of documentaries was made to promote the upcoming Image publisher, but they are really interesting to watch nonetheless. And this is it, Overkill, a very cool toy. It's fun and heavy and solid. As usual, if you liked this video, please share it, subscribe, hit the like button and let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us also on Facebook and Instagram. Ciao!